they have shown. And both teams eye to open their accounts here. Kombans from the left, Forca Kochi from the right. And the focus will be on the home side, and this man on his screen, Patrick McAloon, if he can find his first points on board.
Yeah, no surprises there. Another rugby-style kickoff, putting the ball right next to the corner flag and making the Kombans say, come on, show me what you got and take us on. An interesting stat for you, the Kombans have conceded 18 goals right through SLK season 1 and 2, the most of any team in Super League Kerala. That'll be one point where James McAloon must have told his side, let's just keep a clean sheet, let's just keep it tidy at the back, and then we can work out from there. You have the experience of Felipe and Salam Ranjan Singh at the middle. Hopefully they can keep that clean sheet and work up from there.
Indeed, Kombans straight away coming into attack with Usher, trying to drive in through the defenders, but was blocked away.
Mohammad Ashar there, picking up from where he left off, being direct, being decisive, and this is what they need. This is such a big change from last match. They are pressing at least 10 yards up. That makes a big difference. That puts more pressure on the opposition. And if they can win the ball a little bit higher up the pitch, they can create much better chances than they did last season. Patrick Motta playing a lot higher up than what he did in the last game, and this is where he can create problems for the opposition.
Well, just a little correction here, of course. Forca Kochi, they're attacking from left to right, and Kombans in pink from right to left in the first half, and that'll be a free kick in their favor. 2 minutes into the game, a bright start for the home side, and this is a region. From there, they have fancied their chances in the last game.
Yeah, already you see the pressure high up the pitch on the Forca Kochi defense. This is not something we saw from the Kombans in the first game against Kannur Warriors. They allowed the back four of Kannur Warriors to play a lot easily out from the back. And when you press high, when you put the pressure on Forca Kochi, you win free kicks like this in opposition areas. And there's none better on the ball that you would want than Patrick Motta.
And he is ready. Floated it towards the far side. The plan was to push it back towards his teammate at the near post, but he could not find him free. Rich on. Forca Kochi will need to focus. This is one opponent. They've always got the better of. And the last time they met at this very venue was a 3-1 in favor of Forca Kochi. And the man who scored is on the bench, Ayazo Luis Rodriguez. And here comes Ramon. Oh, that is a very intelligent pass. But before Nijo can reach it, it will be Aryan to reach it. But he clears it and gives away possession.
Aryan panicking a little bit there, clearing the ball, which he didn't need to do. But that's one player that the Kombans cannot allow room and cannot allow space and time. That's Ramon Garcia. He's such a live wire in that midfield for the Forca Kochi. Whenever he gets the ball, he looks to play forward. Instead of playing the ball at feet, he looks to play defense splitting passes, which is what he did out there, and he almost created a problem for the goalkeeper of the Kombans. This is the player on the ball. They need to get tight to him. Maybe Patrick Motta or Akshay need to get tight. Make sure he doesn't turn. Make sure he doesn't play that pass forward.
Well, you have to watch out for one boy who calls this city home. Nijo Gilbert on that left flank for Forca Kochi. He can be a menace, and as threatening as one can ever be on that left flank. But that is some good work on the other end by Akshay. The cross was straight at the keeper.
Good work there by Akshay. They had a 3 versus 3 inside the box. If he could have just found a better ball across the 6-yard box. Have a look at this. He beats the player 1v1, looks up. That cross needs to be better. It's a 3 versus 3 inside the box. Anything outside the 6-yard box would have created a problem for the Forca Kochi defenders. But much better there. The intent showed by the Kombans side is much better. James McClune would be much happy with this start as compared to the first game of the season. And it's clear that they've put in some work. Look at Patrick Mota pressing the ball. He's pressing the centre back. He's pressing the goalkeeper. This is what was not there in that first half.
Covered by Felipe. Now has he recovered from that own goal situation? He was very, very unhappy after the match. We saw him reacting while he was entering the dressing room as well. Frustrated on himself, of course.
There's nothing better to wake you up than a loss in a football match. And I think that has given a reality check to everyone, the coach, the players, the fans, and definitely they look like they've upped the
Another
ante in
chance
this game.
with the left foot out there, but could not connect well and hence misses the target. The exchange was so perfect. Early chances here for Kombans already, but you can see there Ottomar with that little touch, just helping Usher to get inside.
Forca Kochi a bit rattled there. Missed passes from Etmane. Not usually that happens. This is what happens when you just play on the front foot, put a little pressure on the opposition, ask a few questions of the defenders, win the ball higher up the pitch. And that's what the Kombans have done so far. And they've done that, throughout last season as well. And in the first game towards the second half. But they need to take advantage by scoring that first goal. When you're on top, when you put the opposition on the back foot, you need to create those chances and get on the scoreboard as quick as possible. Because if you let this Forca Kochi side settle down, and they did that against Calicut FC, Miguel Lado would want that in the first half now. But so as soon as they settled down against Calicut FC, they made Calicut FC look like a second division side, had more possession, created more chances, but couldn't find the back of the net.
Well, Forca Kochi have a weapon very sharp up front. Douglas Tardin scored a handful of goals for Shillong Lechong last year. And you can say that season ended in 2025 itself. And here comes Forca Kochi in search of a positive ball forward towards the left-hand side, where Mohammad Mushraf, another of those under-23s, is present. But a lot of workload has to be taken by Rashid and Ramon Riego in the midfield, and that is where Forca Kochi can succeed. But what do you think about the role that has been given to Gifty Gracious? I believe he's more of an attacking player, just having to sit back and do a cleaning up role.
Yeah, at the moment his role is just to make sure that he shields Etmane and Ramon Garcia. And if he does that well, he'll give the freedom to Garcia and Etmane to get on the ball and do this. They can unlock defenses, they can play a 1-2 around defenses, create chances for Forca Kochi.
Almost did. But Douglas Tardin couldn't keep control. Just poked out by Sangeet Satish. Earned himself a start tonight after that brilliant assist to bring Forca Kochi back in the game.
Tardin just losing, Douglas just losing his footing there. Salam Ranjan Singh getting closed down by Sangeet. Sangeet, the project game changer player who's been signed by Forca Kochi, came on as a sub in the last game and got the assist.
Oh, Ottomar stepping away and finds Ronald on the left. Can he find him back as well? There was a defensive covering, and hence he could not find Ottomar back on the ball. But I think Ronald, after the previous game, had a few words exchanged with the coach, surely, because he was trying to dribble a bit too much. But tonight we can see he's trying to pass it more.
Fantastic ball there, number 9, number 10 combining. But Ronald this time couldn't get that pass into the box, and there were very few players as well inside that box.
Oh, looks like a very well-timed pass. Ottomar, the flag has stayed down. And Forca Kochi defense looks like still asleep a bit.
Yeah, the Kombans have started well though. The Kombans are alive and are kicking. And they're doing something that they didn't do in the last game, that is play things forward, play things behind the defenders, force the Forca Kochi back four to defend as opposed to just standing and playing ahead of them. The problem is right now, they're getting behind the defense and they're getting crosses inside the box. But there are no numbers inside the box. So who's going to score that goal? The likes of Mohammad Ashar, the likes of Akshay need to get into that box. One of the midfielders in Patrick Mota needs to get into that box to score.
A great switch there to the right. There was options on the other side as well. Sangeet Satish does very well again. The cross towards the far post. Nijo Gilbert was waiting, and he has to keep waiting because Abdul Badish just timed his header to perfection to clear it out.
That's a fantastic ball there by Sangeet. The left back for Kombans should know, Shanit Shahid should know that Sangeet is a left footer. He dived in there and gave the opportunity for him to cross from the left foot, and that is what I'm calling, that is what I call a good cross. Cross right across the 6-yard box. Douglas was there. A little late, Nijo Gilbert, but a fantastic ball there by Sangeet. He started the game well, and that'll give him a lot of confidence.
Yeah, the Kombans fans have filled up the stands as usual. That'll add on pressure on Mickey Yadav.
The Kombans conceded the first goal on a set piece last match.
And Rashid floats in across. There is Patrick Mota down defending. The captain takes responsibility. And now the play of the youngster, Nijo. Come on, not a great touch. Just giving it back in the danger area. Douglas Tadin. Forca Kochi just trying to ensure there's enough pressure on Kombans. But that shot will just help reduce pressure. And sometimes you just need to look for better options. And some silky control from Akshay PM has got the fans up on their feet. And now that was more of a shot than a cross, Floyd.
A fantastic ball there by Patrick Mota. This is what the Kombans need him to do. Get on the ball, play those passes that take players out of the game. Mohammad Ashar trying to cross that ball like he did for Autamar's penalty in the last game, but he got it a little bit wrong, got a little bit underneath the ball. You could see Autamar telling Ashar to put that ball along the face of the ground so that he can get behind the defenders. But it's good to see the Kombans. They've picked up from the second half of the last game. They're doing everything that they did in the second half of the last game, which got them 2 goals. And if they can keep this up, sooner or later, the Forca Kochi defense will give that one chance, that opening for them to get that first goal.
Tried a bit of a trick there. And then Patrick Mota as well. But this might be danger. Nijo Gilbert is 1v2. But those two men were focused on clearing their lines.
Yeah, the one thing about the Forca Kochi attack is they are very central. Nijo Gilbert, Ramon Garcia, Douglas, they are very central, and if the centre backs are out of position, they kind of get a run in straight through the goal. It happened in the last game as well. Abu Karim for Forca Kochi had a lot of chances right through, straight on goal. There's a big gap in the defence of the Kombans. Nijo Gilbert's first touch wasn't good enough to get him across goal.
Now there is a free kick in favour of Forca Kochi. The first one tonight. It'll be Jarito, who wanted to take it initially. He's another of those players, of those 2 players you mentioned, who have come in to the lineup, to the first 11. We'll talk about him in a while because Rashid is ready to deliver. Rashid floats it in, a lot of curl on it. A header as well, which was just off target from Mika Moreno. He's asking for a corner.
Fantastic ball there towards the second post. 2 versus 1 on Abdul Badish there. He needs to be stronger. He needs to get up for that ball and head the ball. The Forca Kochi player wanted it more, and unlucky for him, it wasn't on target.
Rohan hasn't been much involved in attack. His role is to break down those. But he almost gave it away, and that clearance was almost half a through ball forward.
You know, Forca Kochi, from the first game, it looked like they didn't have that spark that magic in the attacking third. Even now, when you get the ball, there's a missed touch, there's a missed pass. The pass is overhit. The shot across is not on target. They're just missing that final touch to their game.
The first quarter played so far, not too many real tests for both the keepers. Patrick McLoone, he won't be too happy. He was saying in the pre-match interviews earlier in the day how his team were playing well but not getting the goals in the previous game. They eventually got 2. Oh, that is not a great touch from Douglas, and a free kick given away.
That's lucky there, Gifty Gracious. He had his studs raised, and that'll be a first warning. You know, when you get your studs raised like that, any kind of touch can lead to a yellow card. So that'll be a nice warning for him from the referee. Kind of keep your studs low. Is that a problem for Akshay? He's gone down, he stayed down. There was minimal contact there, but sometimes that kind of minimal contact with your studs can create a lot of problems.
I think Salam out there was also pointing for a change, and that might be a sign of trouble. They have, of course, have the goal scorer from the previous match, Vicky, on the bench, but then you don't want to lose your starter straight away because that hampers your plan as well, Floyd.
Yeah, you've got Vicky, you've got Bibin Boban who can play a little holding position and maybe push Patrick Mota up front a little bit. So you've got options on the bench. Raghav, who played in that position, is not in the bench in this game. So it's up to James McLoone now. Does he want to go a little bit offensive? He could get in Bibin Boban and put Patrick Mota a little bit up front. He could get in Vignesh, who scored the free kick goal in the last game. That could give them a little of an attacking intent in the game.
We'll have to find out, but there's a chance straight away. Those two combined really well. They almost did again.
That was a pass and a half from Patrick Mota. Otemar should have got that ball under control and hit the back of the net.
And he's stolen it back again and earned a free kick in a very dangerous area, and he might be the one to take it again. Looks like Patrick Mota, of course. There's no Vignesh on the pitch.
Yeah, this was a fantastic ball. Look at that. 4 defenders beaten by 1 pass. Otemar should do much better there. Get the shot, get the ball on target, and at least test the goalkeeper. That was a good chance gone waiting, and that is what Patrick Mota can do. He's already done more in this 17 minutes than he did in the entire game. And that shows that they've been giving the ball to him more. He's getting more involved. And that is where Kombans look their best, when Patrick Mota is on the ball, getting more touches on it.
4-man wall in front of him. Options in the box as well. Can he find any of those?
You know, the way the wall is lined up, I wouldn't be surprised if Patrick Mota tries to curl the ball around that into the near corner of Mohammad Rafiq. There's a lot of space in that side of the goal.
Almost as if asking for that, but he goes for the cross. That is good defending from Richon Jose. And they indeed have a substitution coming up. We'll talk about that, but before we'll watch a replay.
Yeah, good defense there by Forca Kochi. The good thing is they're getting overnumbered in the attack when it comes to set pieces, the Kombans, but they aren't getting that first contact on the ball. So Forca Kochi so far have done well from set plays, and hopefully they can keep the Kombans out as well from this corner kick.
This time floated into the near post. Salam Ranjan is up there. Wasteful attempt, really.
Yeah, the Kombans finally managing to get that switch, that flick on the first post. Salam Ranjan Singh, the big lad at the back post. You know, heading could be one of his strong points, not an overhead volley that he tried and attempted.
Sangeet. And there's the man who has just come on, Mohammad Shafi. We'll have a closer look at him when we have a time, but this pass is aimed towards him. And there's the confirmation. Akshay injured and taken off. And he's been replaced by Mohammad Shafi. Mohammad Shafi, just an under 23, still just 20 years old. He was with the Kombans last year as well. Plays for Kovalam FC and has won the Khelo India games as well. Can he make an impact here? But right now it is Forca Kochi. And here's Ramon Garcia, a lot of space left in front of him. Douglas Tardin, the exchange didn't come. I believe Ramon Garcia was looking for the exchange there.
You know, I'm loving the way Ramon Garcia is moving along the pitch. He's receiving the balls in between lines. He's taking a turn on the half touch. He's moving across the pitch, asking for the ball, dictating play, receiving the ball in good spaces. The only thing missing is that final pass, that final combination play, where they just can't get that going to get that shot on target. But if someone wants to learn how to find space on the pitch, how to receive the ball with your body position on the half turn, you should look at Ramon Garcia.
Richon under some pressure from Ottomar, and he's given it away. Ronald finds Ottomar. He's two inside the box, but the touch was a bit heavy, and he's slightly disappointed with himself.
I have a sneaky feeling there. Ottomar was hoping that Richon falls into the box and slide tackles him for behind, because you look at Ottomar, just as he goes to cross, he sees Richon coming and he feels that if he gets a touch, he's going to go down for a penalty. But at the last moment, Richon stays on his feet and Ottomar's touch takes it out of play.
Does he look a bit off color today, Ottomar Bespo? His touch is slightly rusty. But the good part about such players is that it just takes one moment and he's back in the game. Shanit Balan just lets it run out for a goal kick. Halfway through the first half, I'm not sure if Mikel Plana will be too happy, because more of the attacks, even though not fruitful, have come from the Kombans.
Yeah, it's the same old story for Forca Kochi as it was in the first game as well. The first half they were placid. They allowed the opposition to dictate terms. They couldn't create any chance of consequence, and it has continued for them in this game as well. Whereas the Kombans look much better side, but it's the same old story for them as well. They play well, they don't create too many chances on goal. They have a sniff here and there, but eventually they end up conceding that first goal and then wake up all of a sudden and try to get back in the game.
Kombans from the right with Abdul Padesh trying to combine with Muhammad Asha. And if you're wondering why when Akshay PM was taken off, why didn't Vignesh Maria come in, it is because Akshay PM was an under 23. So you must have two under 23s on the pitch, and that is why it is Mohammad Shafi who is on.
Yeah, that's a really good initiative there by Super League Kerala, giving the young players a chance, and most of these under 23 players are local Kerala players, and they've made a good difference. A substitution of note was the last game where Mohammad Sinan came on for Kannur Warriors, got the assist before the own goal and the assist for Abu Karim as well. You have Mohammad Ashar here, who's been a live wire on the wing for the Kombans, just missing that final touch.
Shafi finds Shanid on the overlap, but again the cross straight at Rafiq Ali Sardar. A bit of credits to him as well for twice and thrice getting his position correct.
Yeah, Jerito and Richon have come under fire in this game. It's a refreshed right wing for Forca Kochi, but the Kombans look even more rejuvenated and they are attacking with intent. There's a slight tactical change. You see Mohammad Shafi coming in on the left wing with Ronald going central. So it's Ronald Altemar and Patrick Mota playing really close to each other. So any ball in and in between those two players or three players can be a lot of difference for them. So they are very central with respect to their attacking intent, the Kombans. And if Ronald can get the ball and on the turn and dribble at Richon, it could be problems for Forca Kochi.
Was a solid header out there, but couldn't find Usher with that. And I think also at times, if you notice closely, Floyd, you can tell me better about it, Shanit Valan is driving in very central when they're in that defensive shape. A nice use of his body. Richon chose to move to the right and find the pass. And now Sangeet Satish, clever little flick, beautifully done. And Ramon Riako's pass doesn't come off well. Sangeet again, a lot of space for Rashid. Finds a pass instead. Men wait in the box for Forca Kochi to convert the chance. But the pass doesn't come to them because of that good defensive bid from Kombans. Sangeet Satish again. The youngster gaining confidence. Chance for Nijo. Half a turn and the shot, and then again Gifty Gracious. He earns his side a corner.
Finally Forca Kochi have arrived in this game, and it's through the game changer, Sangeet. This boy is a bag full of tricks. Look at him, watch him. A no-look back heel pass that beats two players for Ramon Garcia. And that's possibly the first pass in the game that Ramon Garcia gets wrong. Maybe Douglas Stardin should be making his run closer towards the goal as opposed to the channel. But again, look at that. That chance related to a cross, which was parried away by Aryan, and Ramon Garcia getting on it, trying to cross again for Douglas, but Kombans managing to keep it at bay for now.
Another one floated in and headed out quick enough. And as you rightly mentioned, Forca Kochi are now in the game. They have grown and arrived.
Immediately you see Forca Kochi now playing in the half of the Kombans, playing balls behind their back four. This is what one chance, one moment of creativity does to you. This boy Sangeet, he's been a real game changer for Forca Kochi as soon as he's come in the second half in the last match. And we need players like this to create something out of nothing. They've got two exciting wingers in Sangeet and Nijo. If these boys can get their game together, it can create a lot of chances for the likes of Douglas. And one thing that we know from Douglas is this boy can finish.
Not the best of touches there. But the challenge was perfect to recover.
Abdul Badish, the two fullbacks going toe to toe there.
Richon again trying to find a pass with the first touch. Sangeet Satish got it as well, and now Riako from the left, and Nijo. Forca Kochi are growing into the game, proving something slowly and steadily.
There's so much movement in this Forca Kochi side. Pass and move, touch and move, triangles all over the pitch. But they aren't able to play that final ball.
The one who can be able to on the other end of the pitch is Ronald McAlliston. A bag full of tricks. Ronald gets away from Charito and earns a free kick as well. But will the card come out? Not really, not too much in it.
Charito, who's one of the changes for Forca Kochi, is knowing what Ronald is all about. This is going to happen more and more as the game progresses. And he needs to be a little bit more careful in terms of where he dangles his leg, when he puts his arm out to reach for Ronald, because any kind of contact, Ronald's going to hit the pitch and get a free kick in a position like this for Patrick Mota.
And that's where Patrick Mota is dangerous. He can whip in across with his left, and that can be as sweet as anything.
They've been targeting that second post for Salam Ranjan Singh and Felipe. Let's see if Patrick Mota puts the ball in a similar area for those two.
Some pushing and shrugging going on inside the box. The referee will have a word.
It's interesting there for Forca Kochi. They don't have a line of defenders. Everybody inside the box is man marking. There are 3 players in the wall. I don't think so. You need 3 players in the wall. You need, yeah, that's what they're doing right now. They're calling one player back to do a man marking job. So you have a couple of players free inside that box. Can Patrick Mota find them?
Patrick Mota tries to float it towards the far post. Salam Ranjan caught the header as well, but could not bring it down on target.
Yeah, it's a difficult header there for Salam Ranjan Singh because he's just moving backwards. There's not much pace on the ball. He just got underneath the ball. He needed to get over the ball and just guide it towards the same place where the ball came from, which is from the first post. Just couldn't get that power nor direction on that ball. But again, Kombans getting the first header on a set piece.
Half an hour played here. Still no goals. But we were talking about Cherito a while ago, the right full back for Forca Kochi, who has also made his place in the starting 11 along with Sangeet Satish. Cherito has represented the KCB and hails from a very southern region of the country, Kanyakumari.
Kombans calm and cool, playing the ball, finding space. This is Mohammad Shafi. Can he get that ball? No, Rejon. Rejon's had a very good game. He's one of those Indian centre-backs who's been doing really well in the Super League Kerala. He's been a steady partner for EKR in that defence.
EKR finds a pass towards Rashid, and now on the left it was Muhammad Mushraf on the overlapping run, and that'll be the drinks break in the first half. Very humid conditions, no goals, but of course some positive football from both the sides in phases. Patrick Mota and Ottomar Bispo for once almost combined to get the first, but they have to wait further to find the first.
Yeah, but it's much better from the Kombans, from the first game. Like I said, every time Patrick Mota plays in the attacking third or plays as an attacking midfielder, they look a much different side. They create more, they get the ball into him, they find the back of the net, or they find chances in the attacking third, they create more chances on set plays. Everything changes when Patrick Mota plays 10 yards ahead. And James McLoone has made that small change from the first game. And if Patrick Mota keeps getting the number of touches as he has for the first 30 minutes, I'm sure he's going to get some chance or other which is going to be of significance and create that chance for the Kombans to score. At the moment, the South Coast Troopers aren't looking as enthusiastic. They're waiting for that first goal and they're waiting for their team to get the lead. Like I said, 6 home games for the Kombans. Guess how many wins? Just 1. So it's not happy sailing for the South Coast Troopers as fans, but they've kept believing, they've kept shouting, they've kept encouraging their team, and sooner or later I think it's going to pay off.
And these fans really would expect a win from the home side this season straight away. They didn't get it on the first game. They'll hope that they get it on the second day. But the problem is winning 1 game at home in the entirety of a season. That is something they really need to work on.
And I made a note of Forca Kochi in the first game. A lot of shots, but they lack a cutting edge. And they've done that in this game as well. Lovely passing, lovely intricate passing, receiving the ball in open spaces, in between lines. Good receiving on the half turn, good build-ups from the back. But when it comes to that final third, they just lack that little bit of creativity. Nijo, Sangeet need to get more of those tricks and flicks in the game so that they can create better chances on target.
Took a touch of Richon Jos before going out. Shanit Valan has come up to take the throw in. Can go long as well if needed. Now trying to turn around was Shafi. Patrick Mota towards Ottomar. The flag had stayed down. They'll have a corner as a reward.
And guess who gets the interception? Rejon Jos. He's been solid. He's been solid at the back. You know, one thing that Ottomar lacks is a bit of explosive pace, and that kind of gets to him. Again, makes a good turn, but Rejon just gets his foot there in time. A second late, and that would have been a penalty for the Kombans.
That is why James McAloon is complaining. But they have a chance from the corner. Patrick Mota can deliver. He has a lot of quality. A gamble in the box, which doesn't pay off.
6s and 7s in that Forca Kochi box. I think that ball hit someone as opposed to someone hitting the ball. If you have a look again, yeah, you look at that. The number 23 had no idea that the ball was coming towards him, Shanit. It hit him rather than him trying to head that ball. But again, pressure on the Forca Kochi defense at every corner kick that Kombans get. They're getting closer with that first touch on every corner kick. Have a look at the pressing for the Kombans. They want the ball to be played to Rejon, and as soon as the ball is played, they pressure Rejon because they know that Rejon's going to kick the ball long, and they get the ball back again. Smart play there from Ottomar and Ronald, blocking the pass to Iker, who I feel will be the better passer of the ball from the two. So far, the pressing game is working well for Kombans.
Iker Moreno. Forca Kochi just trying to slow it down. Rejon, Kombans allowing them to as well. It looks like they've switched the formation a bit from 4-3-3 to a 4-4-2, is it? Gifty. Look how deep Douglas started and has dropped down. That's been the story in their first game as well. He felt pretty lonely at times, Douglas started.
Same old for Forca Kochi. A foul there by Mushraf on Mohammad Arshaf. They have majority of the possession. I'm sure they'll have more number of passes than the Kombans, but they aren't able to create anything in that attacking third for some reason, and that happened in the last game as well against Calicut FC. They need a little bit more movement from Nijo Gilbert and Sangeet. Maybe off the wing, they need to come closer to Douglas Tadin.
Here's Shafi. Has options around. Patrick Mota has made the run. And Rieko Rahman has come down to defend. And Mota has it back, swings it towards Ottomar. He's somewhat not in his best form tonight.
That's where you want Patrick Mota in the attacking third, playing those final passes into the box and creating problems for Forca Kochi. Have a look at that's fantastic there by Mohammad Shafi, winning the ball back, and that was a good ball again across the box in that corridor of uncertainty between the goalkeeper and the defenders, and Ottomar again a step too slow to react to that ball inside, but a fantastic ball for Patrick Mota.
And looks like Rafiq Ali Sardar has picked up a yellow card for complaining.
You know, Jarito, who's come in, has been a bit rash in in the way he's approached tackles. And again, it was a swing of a leg by him, which has in turn caused difficulty for himself, because Mohammad Shafi just kept his body straight, got the luck of the bounce, and it fell to Patrick Motta to cross the ball. I think Jerito has hurt himself, and Mohammad Rafiq there trying to remonstrate to the referee that it was a foul for Forca Kochi, but this is an experienced referee and he's not going to have any of that. If you're going to get into the face of the referee, all you're going to get is a yellow card.
And that looks like another blow for Forca Kochi. Jerito is being taken off. And talking about options, they have Jishnu and Ayazo Lewis. Of course, there's a limitation on the number of foreigners you can have on pitch. So the only defensive option they have is just Jishnu KS, and he looks to be in some trouble. I'm hoping for a quick recovery for Jerito as well.
Yeah, it's trouble out of his own doing for Jerito. You can't swing your leg like that and hope that you're going to get the ball. If you miss kick it, it's trouble for you, and he looks like that's his game over for today.
Oh, lovely little footwork from Patrick Motta, but then the cross wasn't perfect. And now floated forward, Douglas started applying pressure. Salam Ranjan clears it. Rich on. Forca Kochi would love to have a lead here. And just the ending stages of the first half.
It's looked like Sajish is coming on for the right back, Jerito. Unlucky for Jerito there. He was bought in. Yellow for Patrick Motta. We've seen him lose his temper at this very stadium, which got him 2 yellow cards in 2 minutes. What has he done out here? And again, that's a flailing leg, a high boot. If that made any sort of significant contact to Ramon Garcia, I wouldn't be surprised if the referee would have shown him a red card as well. So he's a lucky man there, Patrick Motta. He's made a really good start to this game. He shouldn't spoil it by getting a second yellow now.
Well, the change has been made. Sajish has come on in place of Jerito. The cross floated in towards Lijo Kilbert. Touch was nice, but not nice enough to turn and find a shot on target. A chance here for Douglas Tardin. Couldn't snatch it on its pathway to the keeper. On the other end, Shafi trying to move up. But I think there will be a tweak in the formation as well. We'll talk about it after we watch this replay.
Fantastic cross there by Mushraf. Just getting out of the reach of Ronald. Of Douglas Tardin, beg your pardon. But something that has been, the Forca Kochi boys have been doing really well. Sangeet on the left wing, Mushraf on the right wing, have been crossing the ball really well in that corridor of uncertainty. Aryan this time calm, composed, keeping hold of that ball, because any slip would have given Kombans the chance.
But what's interesting is what will be the formation, Floyd, because the man has come on, Sajish, or at least there he is, right up in that attacking midfield zone. He's more of a striker, is what we have heard about him, Sajish. We'll get into the discussion. But right now, Forca Kochi in attack from the left. On the overlapping run, has done very well to drive inside the box to Muhammad Mushraf, but couldn't grind in across.
I still don't see a right back in place. At the moment I see Ramon Garcia there. If he's going to play at right back, it's going to be really interesting to watch his positioning in the game.
Yes, because Sajish is a proper forward. and he's the one who has come on. So someone has to fill in that defensive void. And they do not have options. The only option was Jishnu KS. Mushraf. And Sangeet Satish who went with his foot instead of his header, and that could have been trouble for Aryan. Spilled it out for a moment.
Aryan has looked very, very susceptible in this game. Missed kicks, dropping easy catches, giving the opposition a sniff at goal. 3 minutes of stoppage time in this first half. So far it's been a game that has played in the midfield thirds of either opposition. Kombans getting the better of the chances but on set plays, whereas the Forca Kochi players haven't been able to create any chance of significance so far.
Here's Gifty Gracious, one of the key players in Kerala's Santosh Trophy win a couple of years ago with Nijo Gilbert, who's on the ball right now.
It's Ramon Garcia on the right by the looks of it, and if that's going to happen, it's going to leave a lot of space for the Kombans on this left wing. If I were James McAloon, I would leave Ronald free on the left wing and just tell him, just cheat a bit and just wait for the ball to come to you and have a go at Rejon Jose.
Yes, Sangeet with a bit of trickery, floats in across towards Douglas. That in the project game changer man is really at times looking to change the game, as he did in his debut last time around. Here's Nijo, looking to turn around and play it forward as he mostly does. And now stolen back, a chance on the counter. Ottomar needs to be quicker because Rafiq Ali Sardar was already out of his line.
High risk there from Forca Kochi. Have a look at the right back position. There's Ramon tracking all the way back to Mohammad Shafi. That's going to be a good battle. If it's going to be like this in the second half, I think Kombans are going to get a lot of joy on that left wing. But they need Ronald there in place of Mohammad Shafi.
Abdul Badish going to take the long throw. Ottomar didn't get any sort of touch on it. And now Rohan floats it in with his left. Ronald was waiting, falls to Salam Ranjan. And once again that near post is safely guarded by Rafiq Ali Sardar.
Only if Salam Ranjan Singh had his shooting boots on. This is the second time he's had a chance like this. But this time he tests the goalkeeper. Again a ball slightly across the 6-yard box and Ottomar was free to tap the ball in. The Kombans are getting closer on set plays. Closer and closer. And this is the flip side of playing Ramon Garcia as a right back, because he's always going to be higher up the pitch. He's always going to be overlapping and overloading the left back in Shanid. And this time he draws out a yellow card for Shanid.
Yeah, just stopped his run and got into the referee's books as well, Shanid. But there's not too much time left in this half.
Again, that was a lovely example of how to receive the ball. Let the ball roll across your body. Get goal side, get ball side of the defender and force contact from Shanid. If there wasn't a contact there, Ramon Garcia would have been through on goal.
And thankfully, the referee wants them to take it again. Otherwise, it could have been a total waste of a free kick because Ramon Garcia was not ready.
Aidat Mane a little bit too keen to play that ball to Ramon Garcia.
Now just has to roll it back a few yards again and rush it. Can now deliver.
The fourth official there getting his moment, and now he takes a step back.
And that is it for the first half. No goals to show for all the efforts in the first 45 minutes. And
Ramon Garcia is moving into that space, and he's not going to stay in that space throughout the game. He'll be wanting to overlap, he'll be wanting to combine with Sangeet, which will leave a lot of space on the left wing for the Kombans. And at the moment, Ronald is playing very, very deep and central. He needs to get higher up on that left wing, and I'm sure he's going to have a lot of 1v1 situations to go against Rejon, which will be the game changer for Kombans.
Well, off and running with the second half already. Ottomar was trying to get a flick on again. It didn't work, but what they have is a free kick to work with. Patrick Mota will take it, and another yellow card comes out here.
Gifty Gracious has been doing what he's supposed to do in the game, and that is tackle hard. But this time he's gone too hard in the back of Patrick Mota there, which has resulted in a yellow card. Have a look at him, he's gone feet first, studs first, in a little reckless manner, left his body a bit loose, and Patrick Mota made the most of it. Again, a free kick in a dangerous position, a free kick where Kombans have been getting the first header on the last 3 or 4 set plays. Felipe and Salam Ranjan Singh have been getting the better of the Forca Kochi defence, but can they get on that second ball to tap the ball in the net is to be seen.
Chance for Patrick Mota. A big lineup in front of Rafik Ali Sardar, but his defensive lineup was strong enough as well to deal with it.
Good line there by Forca Kochi in the defence, playing a couple of the Kombans players offside.
High press from Patrick Mota. There was a bit of a tweak of formation as well because of those 4 substitutions. A heavy touch and a miss pass from Ottomar Besbro, as if he's not taken on the pitch truly tonight.
That's a reckless tackle again we see from Gifty Gracious. He's now on a tightrope to make sure that he doesn't get that second yellow. This is Ramon Garcia, probably one of the best players on the ball for Forca Kochi. Someone who's capable of creating magic up front. He's playing at right back, which I think is a major drawback or major step backwards for Forca Kochi.
Yeah, the 29-year-old Spaniard having to put in a shift at right back after Jerito's injury. Nicely done out there. He's played for big clubs in Spain as well. But on the other end of the pitch, Salam Ranjan Singh had picked up a knock during that previous attack.
It takes a lot for a big man to go down, and if he's down and he stayed down, that's going to be a cause for concern for James McAloon. It's a good thing that he's up.
There is Ramon Reco, the man we were talking about a while ago. Shanit with the header. Iker just clears his lines. And a yellow card has come out a while ago as well for Gifty Gracious, which you were talking about. He's playing a role where he has to do a lot of defending and help his defense, so there will be a risk in his mind of that red card.
Yeah, that comes with the job, Vasu. Playing in that number 6 position isn't easy. The best players know when to hold back, when to make that tactical foul, but you cannot go to the floor trying to tackle. The moment you do that, it's advantage for the opposition.
Rohan, somewhat wasteful, straight at Rafik Ali Sardar. heavy touch. Felipe didn't have to do much. And Douglas Tardin, he hasn't got too much of supply up front.
A lot scrappy as to wasteful, I would say, in this game. Both teams, on most occasions, just giving the ball away to the opposition, as to saying that you keep the ball and we'll kind of press and try to make something out of possession as compared to in possession. Both teams have been very sloppy in their build-up. They've been very sloppy in the passes into the final third. And it's not made for a good game so far, or a good start to the second half so far.
Just when you say that, Floyd, Forca Kochi give the ball away to Kombans. Ottomar is trying to find back his rhythm. Has found Patrick Mota. A very intelligent pass there, but the touch wasn't perfect at all. The flag went up as well.
That was close. I would love to see that replay again. Mohammad Asher, I thought he timed his run to perfection there from the back. His touch let him down. But again, it's him against Ramon Garcia, who's not a natural right back, whose body positioning is not such that he's going to be able to see the run from behind from the opposite winger.
Bit of risk being taken by Forca Kochi. They need to play it out of the danger area, taking too much time on the ball in the defensive half.
Yeah, they're trying to build up from the back, but they aren't able to find any pass into the attacking third. At this point of time, it's better to get the ball in the attacking third and then play from there. Because any missed pass, because Kombans are pressing really high up. Ronald, Patrick Mota, Altemar, Mohammad Asher, Mohammad Shafi are pressing so high up that any missed pass or any kind of lapse of concentration from Forca Kochi will be a problem for them.
Here's Nijo. Couldn't create anything, but he's got the ball back for the throw-in. Richon. All the way back to Rafiq Ali Sardar. Have slowed down the game a bit again. Rashid has dropped down very deep, and they're playing it risky at the moment. Mushraf, and now Nijo Gilbert, a lot of space on the wide side. Douglas Tardin, is he looking for space to shoot? Yes, he is. Could have been a spectacular had it been on target.
Possibly the best chance. Douglas Tardin having to come a bit deep into that number 10 position to receive the ball, and nobody closing him down there. Rohan was the closest to him. I think he needs to get closer and stop him from taking that ball, that shot at goal. I was just going to say that, you know, these two teams have not played a 0-0 so far in SLK. 2 games between these two teams have resulted in 8 goals. 5 for Forca Kochi and 2 for Kombans. So I'm banking on that history, brief history, and I'm hoping for some goals in this game to make it very interesting.
I do not know why, Floyd, but I'm really intrigued and waiting to see Ayazo Rodriguez back on the pitch. He has that goal-scoring knack as well as a centre-back, and that is something which adds on when your team is in need of goals. They've just scored 1 in the opening day. It was Douglas Tardin, but now it's Gifty Gracious on the ball. Nijo Gilbert, somewhat missing their rhythm at the moment. Many of those big names.
Mohammad Shafi, who's come on the wing, it's fair to say that he's not had the impact that the coach James must be hoping for. You have a look at this. He has a run on the defender. He sees the defender coming. Gifty again. A little flick or a trick could have induced the contact from Gifty, and Gifty on a yellow card If he would have missed him that tackle, it would have been a second yellow for sure. Mohammad Shafi needs to be a little bit sharper if he needs to create anything for the Kombans, and James will be hoping for something like that.
Oh, lovely touch from Shafi, but then the second was over ambitious from him. That is why it didn't come off well. But rightly mentioned, Gifty Gracious needs to be more careful.
You're talking about Ayazo Luis, but they also have Gino Van Kessel on the bench. But he's more of a winger than a striker, is what we got to know in the last game. So if he comes on, it's going to be either Ramon Garcia or Atmane that needs to be sacrificed.
Abdul Padesh with the throw. Felipe, it's that time of the game where things need to start to happen. A chip forward, and that is a good run to keep the ball in play. Rafiq Ali Sardar has missed it totally, thanks to Musharraf, that he doesn't take a risk and clears it off.
That's exactly what needs to happen. One-on-one with Ramon Garcia. Mohammad Ashar checking in, checking out, leaving Ramon Garcia for dead with his pace and putting in a peach of a cross. Aryan, Mohammad Rafi at this point came in, flapped at thin air, and thankfully Mohammad Musharraf was there at the second post to clear that ball.
When did he move to the left is the question that Forca Kochi will be asking as well. That is where they got deceived maybe. Another corner from Patrick Mota. Rafiq Ali Sardar once again a bit of nerves in the box.
This time Rafiq gets a slight touch on the ball, enough to deflect it for another corner kick, but he's coming for balls, he's coming for crosses, and he needs to get some sort of touch of any significance in order to help his team. This time he did so, last time he was way off it.
Another corner, bringing on the heat towards Kochi. Mota delivers again, and this time it ends up in a goal kick.
You can see the Kombans players lining up like a train. Ronald with the first ball, Felipe with that second ball. It didn't reach Felipe there, it caught another player inside the box, which was Shadid. Shadid got his foot there, he left it dangling. If he would have let that ball go, it was Felipe who could have tapped that ball in the back of the net.
Iker has found Rashid, and now Sajish just got jumbled up and pulled his man to give away a free kick.
That's exactly where you're missing, where Forca Kochi is missing Ramon Garcia, because it is him in these kind of positions who turns so well, receives the ball into good spaces and plays the ball forward into the attacking third. Sajish looks more of a striker than a creator, a finisher more than a creator, and it's showing for Forca Kochi.
Another chance meanwhile. Shafi trying to dribble past the defenders. Was he pushed there? The roar went loud, but the decision is not in favor of the Kombans. They got a penalty in the last match, but not tonight.
Mohammad Shafi with too many touches, too many flicks. He needed to get the ball down and get a shot on target. He flicks the ball. It's a 50-50 ball, and the defender Iker just pulling off at the last moment, and Shafi going down too easily there. He needed to get that ball down on his left foot, and by the looks of it, he's not comfortable taking the ball on the right. Another forced substitution, it looks like. Rejon Jose, as the physio indicates, is not able to continue. So that's going to be a problem, because he's been a standout performer as far as an Indian player is concerned for Forca Kochi FC. And taking him out would cause a major shift in the shape and the dynamics of Forca Kochi FC.
I'll give you an add-on headache, Floyd. If they need to bring on Ayazo, they need to sacrifice a foreigner as well.
Exactly. It goes to see what Miguel Lado will do now. because the only defender on the bench is Jishnu KS, and he's not a centre back. And if they get on Ayaz or Luis, they'll have to get off one of their foreigners. This was the flick there by Ronald, which got Altimar through, and that landing there, it didn't look good for Rejon Jose. It reminds me of when Mohammad Riaz landed in the same manner for Calicut FC and he was immediately substituted. It looks like Rejon Jose's game is done. We hope for a speedy recovery and he's available for the next game. In the meanwhile, it looks like Ayazo Luis is warmed up and ready to go.
But they need another Indian player, Floyd. They already have 4 foreigners on the pitch. Taking a bit of risk again.
At the moment, it's 10-man Forca Kochi against a rejuvenated Kombans who are getting closer and closer to that Forca Kochi goal.
So Lewis is getting ready to come on. This is not the way I wanted him to come on though, but we'll find out soon. But right now Ottomar from the left has got the better of his man, but the shot was scuffed by Muhammad Ashar. That was the best from Ottomar tonight.
Much better than the Kombans taking advantage of that extra man on the field, that space that is left by Rejon Jose, and Mohammad Ashar trying to side foot that ball and gets it completely wrong and shanks it. The ball doesn't even go out of the goal line, it goes for a throw-in on the opposite side. He needs to do better, Mohammad Ashar, because the onus is on him. Have a look at it. The technique, he opens his body too much. He needs to get a bigger contact on that ball and just side foot that ball into the corner where it came from.
And there's Douglas Tardin almost in his defensive midfield area. That is the striker, the number 9 of the team, the literal one. And here's Ronald. It's a story of giveaways at the moment. Sajish prefers to play as a striker. But now time for the changes. A double switch there. Rinraitan Shaiza, he was used in the first game as well. And it is Douglas Tardin who is being sacrificed. Hence, you can expect the man I was talking about, Sajishi, to just push up front and play striker right now. And with him, in comes Ayazo Lewis. There's the confirmation.
That's a big call by Miguel Lado. If I'm the opposition manager in James McLoone, I'd see that as a big positive. The main threat, the focal point, the number 9 of the opposition has been taken out, and that gives you a whole lot of confidence.
And there's a chance for Ottomar. Iker Moreno, the big man for the big occasion, steps up. They have the attack going on still, a quick throw-in taken. Confirmation of the other change as well. Rinraitan Shaiza is on. Here he is on the ball. I'm not sure if he is enjoying his time too much in the central zone, Ronald McAlliston. And here's Shaiza has found Nijo Gilbert. Nijo with the inside and then outside. Sajish was at the right place, but so was Felipe Alves.
Felipe Alves must be having dreams or nightmares about that own goal in the last game. In a similar position, this time he managed to sort out his feet and clear the ball in the right way for a corner kick, but that was so close. Sajish was waiting for a chance there. A mistake by Felipe would have given him a free chance to score.
Rashid just taking his time. Douglas Tardin has moved to the bench now. Who is the target man? They'll get another attempt to find it.
Yeah, corner kick there. This time Aryan coming out and punching with some sort of confidence. At least getting it out of the danger zone for another corner kick.
And after a good long while, it is Nijo Gilbert to deliver. Rashid at the edge of the area. Sajish waits. Still danger lurking around, but can they move on a counter? Ronald has a lot of pace and tricks as well. Ronald still got the better of one, but then the pass was not accurate enough. It is end to end at the moment. Rashid towards Nijo, who has stayed on the right. Oh, Nijo past one. The game has come alive suddenly. Mushraf towards Shaiza, lobs it over. Excellent defending, and now it's still a chance here. And Nijo Gilbert with a slightly heavy poke, and eventually space to breathe and speak, Floyd.
Yeah, this was a fantastic through ball there. The one thing that Autamar lacks is pace, and Iker made up for that with a nice sliding last minute tackle. Mohammad Rafi was in all sorts of trouble there, and if Autamar was a bit quicker, he would have got onto that and just dinked it over the goalkeeper. That was the first time after the first half I saw Ronald run at the Forca Kochi defenders. He needs to get more into the game. Ever since he's gone into the central position, he's lost his purpose in this game.
Indeed so. Enjoys his time on the flanks, the space and opportunities to cut inside. Salam. A couple of changes getting ready for Kombans as well. In fact, more than two. It looks like a triple change. We'll wait to find out. Sajish. Ramon. Not been in attack ever since he moved to that right back position. Now had a chance to, but before that cleared by Felipe Alves.
That's much better there from Forca Kochi. Getting behind the Kombans defense, Felipe Luis giving the South Coast Troopers a souvenir of the match ball to take home. And in the process, I think he's gone down with cramp, hopefully not an injury.
Looks like he's in some trouble. And a triple change ready. A defensive reinforcement as well, but a one familiar change we have seen in the previous game. Paulo Victor Lima Silva. He's ready to come on in place of Autamar Pispo.
Two attackers and a defender coming on. Paulo Victor and Khalid Roshan. Two very attack-minded players, a striker and a winger coming on. Whereas Yuri Di Cavallo Lima coming on like for like, I think, for Felipe Luis.
And along with that, Mohammad Shafi, the man who came on in the first half, he will be replaced by Khalid Roshan. And a first glimpse of Yuri Carvalho.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that Coach James McLoone has replaced Mohammad Shafi. He hasn't provided the impetus, he hasn't provided the spark that the substitution needed. Autamar, not a happy player. He felt that he was getting more and more into the game. But I feel at this point of time, 70 minutes into the game, it's fair that the coach makes a substitution and gives another player a chance to showcase his skills up front.
It was clearly not working for him tonight, Autamar. But the man who just came on as a defensive reinforcement, Yuri De Carvalho, him and Ronald McAllister, both 25 years old, a part of the same team before coming here. And here's Khalid. And Nijo Gilbert, the game has opened up suddenly. Here's Nijo. Shaiza. Quick exchanges. Sangeet Satish is being kept on still.
You see Ramon Garcia making an overlapping run there, not seen by Sangeet.
And here's Shaiza again. He's found Nijo. Went for that curled cross in the box, but never came back in.
Good build up there by Forca Kochi. Here you see a good set of passes, finally finding Nijo. But if you look at the box, there's just one player in Sajish, who's in the second post and well man marked there. It's been a story for Forca Kochi FC. They've created chances here and thereabouts, not on a regular basis, but when they've done that, they've not been able to even test the target. 3 substitutions there made by James McClune. He's said enough is enough. We need to see more from our players on the pitch. He's given 20 minutes for Yuri Di Carvalho and Khalid Roshan to come in and do something.
And the offside flag is up, and that attack will go in vain. As you mentioned a while ago, these two teams have never played out a 0-0 draw. Never a clean sheet between these two. A 1-2 in the first meeting in favour of Forca Kochi. And the last time they came here at Trivandrum, it was a 3-1 in favour of Forca Kochi. And the goal scorer is now on the pitch, Ayazo Lewis.
Right away you can see Yuri Di Carvalho putting a lot of pressure and almost getting the ball off Aitat Mane there, Patrick Mota.
Oh, nicely done there by Mushraf. A lot of space for Nijo Gilbert to exploit. Shaiza waits free. He was looking for a pass towards him, but blocked away by Rohan.
Khalid Roshan has come in, and to be honest, the first 2 touches, he's given the ball to the opposition. Coach James McClune must be wondering, what do I need to do on that right wing to make sure that there's a player who comes in and creates some sort of magic for him? Every player he puts in into that position isn't stepping up to the mark so far.
Rashid Atman to take the corner. Rashid floats into the centre. They'll have another chance from the throw. Sangeet Satish wanted to be quick, but he'll wait for his teammates to arrive.
You know, that change by Forca Kochi to get Douglas out might have prompted James McClune to put a little bit more attacking power up front, because he could take a risk at the back. With Douglas not being there, the attack of Forca Kochi would be slightly dimmed a little bit. And at the moment, if they can string a few passes together, Patrick Mota, Ronald, Yuri Di Carvalho, it looks an exciting combination on paper.
Rashid has given it away to Patrick Mota. And they have options on left and right. Mohammad Ashar, still Mohammad Ashar, somehow gets the ball in. It is the man who just came on the pitch, Paulo Victor Lima, who opens his account and gets the fans on fire out here. Kombans have the lead, 74 minutes in the game.
Substitution vindicated there. James McClune was brave enough to get in Paulo Victor, and he's been rewarded by the first goal of the game. Credit to Mohammad Ashar. I told you, when Patrick Mota gets on the ball, he usually unlocks defenses. It was his pass that got Ashar 1v1, and Ashar this time managed to get a fantastic ball into the box. A deflection a little bit, that was enough for Paulo Victor, who was arriving a bit late, and he could tap that ball into the net, an empty net. Where was Mohammad Rafiq going? What was Mohammad Rafiq doing out there? He had no business trying to close down Mohammad Ashar. And as that ball went in, Paulo Victor had the goal gaping open for him. All he had to do was direct that header into an open net to give the lead for Kombans. And dare I say, it was a brave substitution made by James McClune, and it has paid dividend.
His first in the Super League, Kerala. and might be a crucial one to get Kombans' first ever win against Forca Kochi. And now the question is, can they hold on?
I would say the opposite, Baswar. Not can they hold on, can they go on to score a second? Because they look so dangerous going up front. And this Forca Kochi defense is under so much pressure that I think if they put a little bit more pressure on this back four, they can get a second goal. And when your tails are up, when Paulo Victor is in this kind of form and this kind of intensity and energy, you need to feed off it and get that second goal as soon as possible.
Indeed so. Instead of sitting back, if they can get a second, nothing better than that. But it all started with Patrick Mota stealing possession in the midfield. They are happy at the moment, the Kombans fans, and we'll have a look at that goal again. Perfection there. But as you rightly mentioned and questioned, what was Rafiq Ali Sardar doing?
Fantastic move there by Asher. He beats two defenders, and Mohammad Rafiq coming out of the goal made it even easier for him. All he had to do was guide that goal towards the 6-yard box, and Paulo Victor said thank you very much for an open net.
The 22-year-old Mohammad Asher, coming up from the Muthoot Football Academy. Last year was with the Kombans, has won the Kerala Premier League as well, and now delivering for the Thiruvananthapuram Kombans.
He's always in the action, Mohammad Asher. If you notice the last game as well, the penalty that Autimar won was a cross by Mohammad Asher. He's always in the thick of things when Kombans need to create something in the attacking third.
Another shot, and the deflection will take it out for a corner. Kombans are hungry for the win.
Finally, Khalid Roshan coming to the party. Another substitute coming in, being positive, dribbling at the Forca Kochi defense and taking a shot. Look at him out here. Jiggles his way through, creates a little bit of space, takes a shot, which hit Iker, and for another corner now. Rafiq needs to keep his calm. Rafiq needs to keep his composure. He cannot be coming out flapping at thin air. He needs to get the ball or stay on his line.
It is Patrick Mota, the man who was at the heart of the previous move, and now another chance for Yuri. The substitutions are really making impact here.
Forca Kochi are unable to get that first contact on every set play that's coming in. They've been lucky with the bounce. Look here again, the first contact by Forca Kochi, the second contact by Yuri Di Cavallo. Fortunately, his touch was not good enough and they cleared the ball. But Forca Kochi treading on thin water here, treading on thin ice. It hasn't been going well for Forca Kochi. First, they had to put Ramon Garcia at right back. Then they had to take out Douglas Tadin from the number 9 position. At the moment, they look in all sorts of problems. 6s and 7s, square pegs and round holes in each and every position that they are playing. There's no kind of cohesivity. There's no kind of combination that is happening. They aren't able to create chances of significance on the Kombans goal at the moment. That will be the worry for Miguel Lado. He hasn't been able to get a combination going. His best player, Ramon Garcia, is out on the right wing, on the right back, having to defend against Mohammad Asher. That's not where you want your best player. We've been talking about Patrick Mota. In this game, he's been playing much higher up for Kombans, and that has created problems after problems for the Forca Kochi defense. Every set play for Kombans, he's been there on top. He played the pass for Mohammad Asher before the goal.
Couldn't get the touch properly out there. And here's Rashid, slightly under pressure since he's given that ball away a while ago, from which the goal came. Not a great touch from Ronald as well. Gifty, and now Sangeet Satish, a bit of space opening up. With the step overs closed down. Shaiza. Forca Kochi in search of the equalizer. Nijo Gilbert finds Shaiza. Shaiza with the cross. Still a chance for Gifty. Gracious. Struck it well, but just up and over.
Gifty just couldn't keep that ball down. It's a difficult skill to volley the ball at that height. Shaizad there, lovely turn, lovely cross, not cleared with conviction, and Gifty, having seen Yuri Di Carvalho closing down, just rushed his shot a little bit, got underneath the ball, and it went sailing over the crossbar. I was surprised that he wasn't brought on for Ronald, for Douglas Tardin. Coach Miguel Lado has reacted, but has this reaction come too late for Forca Kochi FC?
Along with that, Jishnu has also come in here. He is on the ball, will play centre back alongside Ayazu Luis. So a new centre back pairing here for Forca Kochi for the next 9 minutes. But these local players have really been impressive, and the motto of this Super League Kerala has been to promote the local players, and of course the Kerala Football Association's contributions to SLK and overall development in football has certainly been a positive. Rashid for the quick exchange. Mushraf driving inside, chips it forward, turned into a shot eventually, which needed to be parried away, and well saved by Aryan.
That shot was heading towards the far corner. Have a look at it. Mushraf just dribbled in, wasn't closed down, and that shot was curling ever so close to that far post. Aryan at full stretch, parrying it out for a corner kick. Positives for Forca Kochi.
Sangeet Satish will take the corner kick. The youngster with responsibility floats it in towards Ayazu Luis. That's been taken away from the danger area.
Paulo Victor had made a good run there. Patrick Mota for once didn't spot him and decided to take a touch. Ayazu Luis, he's such a threat on set plays, as we saw last season. Have a look at that shot by Mushraf. Fantastic shot, and that was heading in for sure. Fantastic save. That could be the save of the match by Aryan. Fantastic reflexes, full stretch to parry that ball for a corner kick and keep Kombans in the game.
Indeed so. That is excellent goalkeeping from Aryan. Is there a bit of time here for Forca Kochi to get back in the game? They have never lost against this opponent, but Ronald can make that happen. Jishnu KS, who was just summoned on the pitch, puts in a crucial challenge as well.
He got past one, he got past two, he couldn't get past the third one. Gifty gracious there, made a tackle but didn't make contact. It would have been his second yellow card, but that was enough to let Jishnu recover and clear that ball for good. The more the game moves on, the more Ramon Garcia is vacating that position and playing as an out-and-out winger in the game. And that's going to be an area of concern, because if Arshaf gets the ball on that wing, it's going to be 1v1 against Ayazu Luis.
Time is running off. James McAloon will be happy. Mikel Yadav will not be.
Exactly, because from one of the most balanced sides last season, Forca Kochi, they had good players in each and every position along with substitutes. They have become one of those sides where they are playing square pegs in round holes. They're playing centre midfield at right back, a right back at centre back. No recognized number 9 on the field. Gino Van Kessel playing on the wing, but isn't able to affect the game as much. They're all over the place, Forca Kochi, and it's a huge task for Miguel Lado to get that balance, to get that combination right if they need to get any sort of point or rhythm going in this Super League Kerala Season 2.
And the name that will be in their mind is Tori Elton, but Shaiza goes for a shot. couldn't collect it, hence punched it away.
That's the second time in the space of 5 minutes they've been able to test the palms of Aryan, and on both occasions Aryan has kept it simple, parried the ball away from the danger and kept his side in the lead.
Shaiza has been impressive, hasn't he, since coming on, playing the passes around and now getting the shot on target as well.
He's a very, very tidy player, Shaiza, having coached him at the youth level. He's two-footed, he has an eye for goal, he can play a through pass. He's an all-round midfield player, and he's someone who, if he can nail his spot in the team, can be a good asset to play off the central striker, because he makes a lot of runs beyond the strikers. And as you saw earlier, he has a shot in him and he can test the target for sure.
Rafiq Ali Sardar is struggling a bit at the moment with cramps.
It's hot, it's humid, and Rafiq Ali Sardar has gone down with cramps. It'll give Miguel Lado a little bit of time to kind of rejig his team, his players jogging towards him. Miguel Lado, you see, talking to his players, giving a set of instructions, maybe for this last 4 minutes plus extra time, where they can do something different in the game and take a risk. Put players forward, get balls into the box, test the goalkeeper Aryan as they've done in the last 5 minutes, and maybe try to get a point at least out of this game.
Still 3 minutes on the clock for Forca Kochi to come back and Kombans to hold on. Here's a chance on the left again to create something dangerous. Rashid was down to defend against the young man who created the chance a while ago, and he has won it back. Oh, lovely little nutmeg, but he couldn't stay in control. Mohamed Asher is running the show at times, and here's Patrick Mota, and look at what Asher does, just holds on to his man. Patrick Mota delivers, and Jishnu KS just takes it away. Now on the other end, Gino Van Kessel. Does he still have the legs? Sajish with a clever little turn, and that'll be a yellow card coming out. That is a very intelligent turn from Sajish to earn the free kick and a chance for Forca Kochi. Aryan under a bit of tense here. It'll be Muhammad Mushraf to deliver. One youngster delivered on the other end. Can he do it on this end of the pitch? Muhammad Mushraf floats it in. Out of danger for the time being. Ramon Garcia. Gino Van Kessel has stayed onside, trying to get the better of his man, but that is very well defended by Abdul Badish.
Good defending there by Abdul Badish. Gino Van Kessel looks like he's going to take a few games to get up to the speed of the Super League Kerala. That was too easy there by Abdul Badish, for Abdul Badish to get his body across and usher it out for a goal kick. He'll feel a world of good there, having shielded off that big unit of Gino Van Kessel, give his side a little bit of a breather as we go into extra time.
But at the same time, is he a bit unhappy that he's not getting games to start?
I don't think there'll be any player in that team, Forca Kochi, who will be happy right now.
That was a very risky moment at the back. Paulo Victor almost got in again. 5 minutes added on. And 5 minutes of a lifeline for Forza Kochi. Across towards the far post, a header as well that could have gone in. And Mohammad Asher, he's desperate to get his side over the line.
Again, that pace of Mohammad Asher, that defending of Ramon Garcia, this time Sangeet there, taking his place at right back. Two wingers trying to defend, another winger. And Rafiq there again trying to catch the ball, parry the ball. He's unsure what he wants to do with that ball, and finally it ends up going out for a corner. Lucky there, Rafiq, that the ball didn't go off his glove into the goal.
Patrick Motta just urging the crowd to roll louder, and he delivers the cross in the right area. Still with the Kombans. And that'll just be a goal kick.
Shanid there had a free header there from Patrick Motta's ball. What else can Patrick Motta do to provide that assist for the goal? There was nobody around Shanid there inside the box, but he completely headed thin air when he should have tested the target.
Confirmation of the yellow. Salam Ranjan Singh has picked up a card. Mohammad Mushraf having to do all the defending right now, would love to go on overlapping runs at this point of time in the game.
Have a look at this, Patrick Motta.
And what you were trying to point out, Floyd, I think is the previous corner which Patrick Motta took. We'll try and have a look at it if possible, but right now it is Forca Kochi who are in search of the equalizer with just 2.5 minutes in hand.
The Kombans so far look really resilient. Something they haven't done throughout last season and even this.
And there's a man down meanwhile, a cross floated in, a chance for Shiza. And under pressure, just rushed the shot and couldn't connect properly at all.
This is a cross again there by Mohammad Mushraf. He's done well in the second half, putting in balls inside the box. Fantastic header there by Mohammad Shanid. Sheza unable to control that ball. The bounce of that ball was too much for him to get the ball on target.
Patrick Motta couldn't keep possession. Kombans, can they create history with their first ever win against Forca Kochi and open their account at home as well with 3 full points? A wait of time now. Few more seconds. Ronald, more of a clearance that. Or is there more drama left in this fixture? There was drama in the match before. There was drama in Calicut when Forca Kochi played them. Is there some spice left? It is the keeper who has gone down, Aryan. The physios are on as well. The Kombans faithfuls in full voice, waiting to celebrate their first ever win against Forca Kochi.
Can they keep that clean sheet? Because it will only be the 3rd clean sheet for Thiruvananthapuram Kombans in Super League Kerala. The last 2 times they kept a clean sheet, they scored 2 goals as well. and got 2 wins. And one of those wins, the only win, was at this very stadium.
Well, time for Forca Kochi with one last attack. Moving forward, not cleared away well. Sangeet Satish, can he provide another decisive cross in the box? Great close control from him. And now floated in the area, a chance for Sajish, couldn't connect. And later for Mushraf, Gino Van Kessel with his left, a powerful attempt, a wonderful save, and on the rebound, missed. And that is Aryan Anjanya with his very best to save his team and probably seal 3 full points.
The one player that you'd want on a second ball, Ramon Garcia, just couldn't keep that shot on target. Fantastic shot by Mushraf there, deflected. Gino Van Kessel, this is the quality that he brings, a fantastic volley unleashed and saved by Aryan. Fell right to the feet of Ramon Garcia, who couldn't parry it into an open goal. He was slightly leaning forward, a little bit off balance, and that was enough for the ball to go over the crossbar, and he'll be cursing himself. That could have been a chance for the Forca Kochi to steal a point against the run of play in this game and go back with 2 points in this game.
And is that the last kick of the game? Yes, it is, and history created as Kombans get their first ever victory against Forca Kochi. And that one hand in way of destiny against Forca Kochi, Aryan Anjanya with a big save, the decisive one at the last moment of the game. And Kombans celebrate their first home victory of the season and their first victory.